think there's any discrimination in football at all?
I do sort of agree with an extent, but I think that's just because the people who have been brought up in different areas. And
Come on, England!
listen, go on, next question.
Do you feel like there's any real discrimination in football?
I feel like there is discrimination. There's discrimination in everything in life. I think there is a little bit in football, yeah.
Probably a little bit.
Yeah, probably to some extent.
Racism is rampant in football, homophobia, everything. Literally every form there could be.
Phobia.
Yeah.
Literally all of it.
I haven't seen any instances in this Euro, but yeah, I think things are changing now.
Yes, I think there is still discrimination in football. Obviously, in the lead up to the Euros, with quite a few of the vicious tweets that are being aimed at players like Sterling, a lot of the monkey chants and things like that. I think it's still quite rife. I think more regulation needs to come in.
I think they don't recognize Sterling's work in the team. For example, he scored, nobody talk about it, and after Harry Kane scored, everybody was excited on all the newspaper. So I think is a bit discrimination.
Yes. There's so many instances where players have just walked off the pitch. And then Raheem Sterling especially, that's the big one in the Premier League, I think.
I mean, yeah, probably. It's the fact you see the discrepancy between who's coaching and who's playing. I think is a big thing. You got a lot of black players playing, but not a lot coaching.
Also, there's still racism, still a common thing at a lot of games. At City, where I used to go, we had monkey chants a year ago. Chelsea had the thing on the train, on the underground.
I mean, booing taking the knee.
Booing taking the knee. It's everywhere, to be fair.
I think the selection of players is one of the few things that racism doesn't exist as much. So you see black players getting pretty much equal opportunity as players, but anywhere other than on TV, it's still kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
Can you think of any examples?
Well, in international football, the Bulgaria game specifically, they were racist towards the black players in the England team. I guess it's a lot of the Eastern European countries are just very against black players, essentially. There's discrimination against gay people as well. So the Hungary fans, I know that they're not essentially on the side of LGBT.
It's hard to say. With events that have happened, especially in the Premier League, it's difficult. Taking the knee, we don't really know if it makes the same impact anymore. I think some players have stood up for it. I think Wilfried Zaha has stood in, and it doesn't make the impact it should, which I think is true. I think more can be done, and it's always going to be a struggle, really. But I think we're making the right steps to go in the right direction.
Well, apart from the racism problem and stuff like that, I think it's a lot calmer nowadays than what it used to be.
Do you feel like the politics of football should have any real effect on the game?
No.
No.
Why should it? I don't know.
Yeah, no. She's crack on, Yeah.
I think it should. Obviously, people love football because of the game, the sport, but sport in its entirety brings people together. It's good for you physically and mentally, and therefore I think the politics around it should promote the health benefits, the positive attributes of football and sport in general, and therefore the politics should advocate football and all the good stuff about it, as opposed to all the discrimination, hate, which is important to air. So yeah, that's what I'd say to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with the fact that they're taking the knee, and if there's racist chanting on the pitch, they're the kind of role models that can make a difference, and people will they'll notice and they'll think more about it, have more of an impact, and if people are stopping a game, people realise how important it is, and that it's actually a real issue.
And do you think the politics in football should impact the game at all, pausing it and stopping it and stuff?
I think it's good to talk about it, definitely, because you got a platform, use it, but unfortunately people just don't like it. And I think, especially in the NBA, they do it really well. They have a good blend between politics and keeping the product really good. And yeah, I think the Premier League could do the same.
But I don't think politics should really come into sport. I think you're there to watch the players, not to make a stand for your beliefs. You can do that on another platform, just not not really in sport. I think other things matter, you know, like basic values, you know, like racism. I think definitely make a stand if that's you have the platform for it. But in terms of like politics, I don't think it should be in football.
No, I don't think so. I think you should just let the game be the game, you know, and do what it should do, and just make people happy and sometimes sad. But that's just football. It's an emotional game. It's full of love and unhappiness sometimes. But it's what it is. It's football. It's our sport, and it's the best sport in the world.
How do you feel about player protests, like players taking the knee and stuff?
I think it's absolutely
It's good.
fine.
Yeah, it's great. It's a catalyst for change, I think. So yeah, it's good. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's got to be something done about it, and in the moment, that's all that can be done because nothing's done in the background to stop it happening to the extent that it stops completely. If that makes sense. And so, in the moment, that's all that kind of can be done, and then everything needs to be done off the pitch to stop that happening. On it.
Right, okay, well, it's up to them. I think it's up to you. You know, if you want to take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. I just think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, and that's it, really.
That they should stop it. They should. I reckon they should stop it, get them off, and be like, listen, that's the thing, and they should have a penalty for that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like for them, not the actual team, obviously, because that's football penalty. But do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
Do you think anything can be done to sort of tackle it and sort it out, like right now?
Well, I think higher ups can do as much as they can, but I think it's mainly rooted in the fan base.
The culture.
It's football culture.
Old, white, racist men.
Yeah, it's just ingrained in football culture, I think. So they can make as many sort of moves as they want when it comes to like advertising or whatever, but it's just ingrained in the culture.
I think it's just a good thing that it's getting more recognition. I think it should always be spoken about. I think things like BLM in the past year and sort of other like nationwide movements have just made more people recognise it, but it always has been an issue.
Do you think there's anything that could really be done to like tackle the sort of issues with football?
Yeah, education. If you're racist, it's because of what you've grown up with and you haven't been educated.
Yeah.
Football, the football clubs are rich enough to educate you.
It would be nice to see more people of colour and other ethnic diversities in management roles. We don't really have that. You look at the Premier League, I don't think there's one. I can't name one. There's only been a few in the past, but it'd be nice to see more people, more diverse people, even Asian footballers. I don't know one from the Premier League, from the Far East. So it would be nice to see more diversity for sure, yeah.
And finally, if England doesn't win today, what are you going to do?
Cry, get pissed.
Yeah.
Cry again.
Cry again. Maybe have a cuddle.
Yeah. A group hug.
Yeah, group hug.
We're not going to find that out though.
If England doesn't win tonight, what are you going to do?
Go home, sleep.
And if England doesn't win today, what are you going to do?
Probably jump off Tower Bridge, top yourself.